Dolphins. Okay, I guess this shall do it. I mean, take a look at this. What a crazy backdrop that is. I mean, I'm basically in the middle of the jungle. And I must tell you that waking up here and seeing this view first thing in the morning, breathing that fresh air, is just something else. I think, especially as creative people, I think we all started this journey, with a camera with our hands, chasing some sort of freedom, wanting to tell our own stories, wanting to travel, wanting to document the world. And sometimes, especially when you're working on client projects, I think the chances of landing a brief where, everything is perfect, the clients are amazing, are sometimes super slim, and most of the times we're handed quite a few lessons that come with that. And I recently had a pretty challenging experience kind of last month. I went through a bit of a turbulent time, and it's funny to see how sometimes we think that we are going to achieve our goal in a certain way with certain people, but sometimes life is like, no, you are going there, but it's going to be a different route. And I read a quote that basically said that we have to carve our goals in stone, but we have to draw the way there with a pencil. Because isn't it always like that? We always end up achieving our goals if, we work hard and we are consistent at the end of the day. But most of the times, it's not the way that we thought that we would. So anyways, now that I'm on the other side, I must tell you that I feel so free. I used to have constant calls the whole time for like 8 months. I felt like that freedom that I have built and that personal brand that I've been building through the years had sort of started to disappear and fade out because I was investing about 90% of my energy to client work and to a client that really didn't deserve that. So right now, I'm just prioritizing myself. I'm here now on Madeira doing pre-production for a project that it's really exciting. I'm back at the director's seat working on branded documentaries, which is, I think, really where my heart is at. And so I'll take you along with me next week as I go to Germany to direct and be on set as we do that doc. Also, I'm working on a project. I recorded a new course for personal branding for her film school because I'm changing a little bit the model of my coaching program, so to say. So a lot of things are happening. I'm really grateful also for the lessons, because if it's not that, how are we going to propel forward and move closer to our dreams? So yeah, I'm excited to take you along. It's going to be a fun one. Exploring Funchal after we just changed our broken rental car.
Yeah, honestly, because there was there was no chance of driving that car in hilly Madeira. We barely survived going to the Airbnb.
So we're now going to get some breakfast because we're super hungry, and I have a shoot to plan. Every day, that's what she told me. I guess we found breakfast.
Oh. So, I assume what are we working on?
We're currently in pre-production. We're filming next week, so I'm taking you with me. And I want to show you kind of from a director's standpoint what my work consists of. The first documentary is this one called Project Neo. I started here, kind of breaking down the whole structure of the series and, what's it for, what's the transformation of the main character. What I was doing now, after the whole scene breakdown of episode 1, it's going to be a pretty long one, I made a shot list for our DP. And it's basically about a guy called Mike, who is a very prominent figure in the biohacking space in Germany. And we're following his story, how he became a biohacker in the first place, and how he's now experimenting with peptides to show everyone that this is like the future of medicine. So this is what I'm working on. Pretty exciting, a bit stressful, but yeah, super excited to actually go on set and do this whole thing. Everyone else is still asleep, so I'm walking around the house doing a bit of a location scout because I arrived yesterday very late in the night. So now I can see it properly in the light, plan some shots, and when it gets to directing and the team is awake, I know exactly what we can get. So I'm basically using my camera, putting it on the tripod, and recording myself, so you'll be able to see the final outcome. So far, so good. We are halfway through the first shooting day, and we've covered most of the B-roll shots we filmed here in the Airbnb. Basically, Mike's daily routine, getting ready in the morning, working a little bit. Then we went to the gym, filmed him train, and also did a really cool cinematic shot that I'm planning to use as to show kind of his journey, because he went from being super sick to discovering peptides and how he can basically cure himself, so to say. Now we're back in the Airbnb. We'll be filming the second interview and some more kind of creative shots to show some of the emotions of his backstory. We gotta own a certain space. Alright, day 2 is about to start. We're going to the clinic and yeah, gonna film some tests.
In the midnight hour, she cried more. With a rebel yell, she cried more. Wow. In the midnight hour, babe, more. With a rebel yell, more.
Alright, and that's a wrap. After 3 days of directing on set, we managed to actually film 2 long-form episodes for the 2 branded documentary projects that we are doing. It's been really amazing to get back into the director's seat and do what I do best, which is, tell human stories through brand storytelling. This has always been the thing. But I must confess though that in the past 2 years, I went through a bit of a challenging phase where I didn't really know how to call myself. Was I still a filmmaker? Was I now a marketer because this was the client project that I was working on? Was I a mentor? Was I a personal brand builder? I felt like I was carrying so many things with me simultaneously that I kind of lost the initial direction, and I've been holding a camera in my hands, filmmaking wise, for the past decade, which is really crazy to say. The journey has been with so many ups and downs, but the projects that this has allowed me to work on, from being in Kyrgyzstan, sleeping in a yurt and documenting the life of the people living there, to then working with the Olympics and directing a series with branded athletes, to then doing a piece with Corona about a friend of mine who is a glass artist and paraglider, to then ending up in Kentucky working with DJI, being in the 911 emergency room, seeing how the sheriffs use the drone, to save lives, to now being here again back in Germany, where in a way everything started, and working on a piece for Iron Mike, who is a biohacker bodybuilder in the health and wellness space, and we're doing a bit of research on a few new substances that haven't been previously tested on people. Filmmaking has taken me through so many industries. I've learned so much, and in a way it's crazy how no matter how many projects I work on, I still get back to this, to directing and to doing branded documentaries. So if you're out there and you have trouble with your positioning and figuring out what the line is, what is that word that makes you you when someone asks you, so what do you do? Don't worry, really, you'll figure it out. Just trust the process. It's gonna take years, but you see what your true self is.
In the